The most painful thing is not when a woman leaves. It is when she acts like you are nothing after making you feel like you are something. She becomes cold, distant, careless, maybe even proud. She stops reaching out. She stops explaining. She posts like life is normal, smiles like nothing happened, and moves through her day as if your name never touched her chest. And because you see only the outside, your mind starts attacking you from the inside. You wonder if she ever cared. You wonder if everything was fake. You wonder how someone can share late night conversations, private moments, soft looks, emotional tension, and then act like you were just another man she passed by. So you check her story, not because you want to chase, but because one part of you is searching for evidence that she still feels something. You reread old messages trying to find the moment her warmth changed. You pretend you are done, but deep down, you still want to know if she remembers you when the room gets quiet. And here is the truth most men never understand. A woman can act like you meant nothing while still being emotionally unable to fully let you go. But that does not mean you should run back, beg for proof, or chase her hidden feelings. It means you must understand what truly makes a man stay inside a woman's mind. It is not how many times he texted. It is not how much he explained. It is not how desperately he tried to keep her. She cannot let go of the man who made her feel seen, then stopped, letting her control his peace. She cannot easily forget the man who cared but did not collapse, the man who gave warmth but still had standards, the man whose absence did not feel like punishment, but like a door quietly closing on a version of her that took him for granted. So if she is acting cold, do not confuse her performance with the full truth. Pride can look like indifference. Regret can hide behind silence. Missing someone can wear the mask of moving on. But your job is not to expose her mask. Your job is to become so grounded that whether she admits it or not, your value no longer needs her confession to be real. Section 1. She can't let go of the man who made her feel seen. The first real reason she cannot let you go is not because you chased her, begged her, or kept proving your value. It is because at some point you made her feel seen in a way most people did not. You noticed things she did not explain. You heard the emotion behind her words. You felt when her smile was not real, when her silence was heavy, when her energy changed before she admitted anything. And for a woman, being seen like that can leave a deeper mark than attention alone. Many men give compliments. Many men want her body. Many men want access to her beauty, her time, her softness, or her validation. But few men create the feeling that someone understands the hidden room inside her. That is why she may act like you meant nothing, but still remember the way you listened, the way you stayed calm, the way you made her feel safe enough to show a side of herself she normally protects. The hidden mistake men make is thinking that once she acts cold, everything meaningful disappears. So they panic. They try to remind her of the bond. They send messages like, you know what we had was real, or I know you still feel something. But the moment you try to force her to admit what she remembers, you turn emotional depth into pressure. Real life example. Maybe she once opened up to you about something she does not tell everyone, then later acted distant like none of it mattered. The weak man feels insulted and starts demanding recognition. The grounded man understands that emotional memory does not need to be dragged into the light. Psychologically, people do not easily forget those who helped them feel understood without judgment, but they can hide that memory behind pride, fear, guilt, or a need to feel in control. The Stoic lesson is this: do not chase the version of her that once felt safe with you. Let your presence remain clean in her memory. Practical behavior means you stop reminding her of what she already knows. You do not beg her to validate the connection. You do not weaponize the past. You simply continue becoming the kind of man whose emotional depth is rare and whose self respect is even rarer. The emotional payoff is powerful because when you stop asking her to admit you mattered, the memory becomes hers to carry alone. And sometimes that quiet weight is stronger than any message you could send. Section 2. She can't let go of the man who stopped needing her reaction. The second reason she cannot fully let you go is because at some point your energy changed, and that change disturbed the version of you she thought she understood. In the beginning, maybe she could feel your attention easily. She knew when you cared. She knew when her silence affected you. She knew one cold reply could make you think. One delayed message could make you check your phone. One small shift in her tone could pull you into explanation. And when a woman becomes used to a man reacting, his reactions become predictable. She may not even do it cruelly, but she starts assuming his emotional position. She thinks he will still be there. He will still answer. He will still explain. He will still try. Then one day something changes. You stop chasing the emotional temperature of her mood. You stop sending paragraphs to fix what she refuses to clarify. You stop reacting to every silence like it is an emergency. You still care, but your care no longer looks like fear. And this is when she starts feeling a difference she cannot easily ignore. Real life example. Before, if she became distant, you would check in fast, maybe ask what happened, maybe try to bring the warmth back. But now, when she goes quiet, you do not collapse. You continue your day. You train, work, move, speak less, and let her distance exist without begging it to change. Psychologically, people notice when they lose emotional control over someone they once could move easily. It creates curiosity, discomfort, and sometimes regret because the mind starts asking, why is he not reacting like before? Did he stop caring? Did he finally see his worth? Did I lose the version of him that waited for me? The Stoic lesson is that a man becomes more memorable when his peace is no longer available for emotional games. Practical behavior means you do not fake detachment just to be noticed. You actually return to your center. You stop checking for her reaction to your silence. You stop making your growth a performance for her eyes. The emotional payoff is that she may act like you meant nothing, but inside she feels the loss of influence. She remembers the man she could once pull with small signals, and now she is facing a man who no longer moves every time her energy changes. Section 3. She can't let go of the man whose absence feels unfinished. The third reason she cannot let you go is because your absence may feel unfinished in her mind. Some people leave cleanly because nothing deep was planted. But when a woman experienced real emotional tension with you, when there were moments that felt close but never fully spoken, when something was building but never completely resolved, the mind does not close the file easily. It keeps returning to the unanswered feeling. This is why she may act cold on the outside, but still carry you in quiet places. She may not message you, but your name appears in her thoughts when she hears a song, passes a place, sees something you would have laughed at, or remembers a conversation that ended too soon. The hidden mistake men make is trying to force completion. They feel the unfinished energy and start chasing closure. They send one last message, ask one last question, explain one last time, hoping she will admit that the connection mattered. But when you chase closure from someone who is hiding behind pride, you often give them control over your healing. Real life example. Maybe there was a night where the conversation felt different, deeper, almost like both of you knew there was something more, but then life, fear, ego, or timing interrupted it. Later, she acted like it was nothing, but the emotional charge did not disappear. Psychologically, unfinished emotional experiences are powerful because the mind keeps searching for meaning. It wants to understand what was real, what was imagined, what could have happened, and why it never fully became what it felt like it could become. But the Stoic lesson is that you must not let unfinished feelings turn you into an unfinished man. You do not need her confession to complete your identity. Practical behavior means you stop reopening the wound just because part of you wants a final answer. You allow the silence to hold its own weight. You keep living, growing, training, working, and becoming more centered. You let her sit with the unanswered feeling instead of rescuing her from it with another emotional message. The emotional payoff is deep because when you stop begging for closure, your absence becomes more mysterious, more mature, and more powerful. She may act like you meant nothing, but the part of her that still feels the unfinished chapter knows the truth. Some men are not forgotten because they stayed. They are remembered because they left a silence no one else could feel. Section 4. She can't let go of the man who did not beg to be chosen. The fourth reason she cannot let you go is because you did something many men never have the strength to do. You stopped begging to be chosen. Not loudly, not bitterly, not with some dramatic speech about knowing your worth, but through a quiet shift in your behavior. You stopped trying to convince her that you were different. You stopped trying to win the comparison game with other men. You stopped explaining why your loyalty mattered, why your attention was rare, why your intentions were real. And this is powerful because a woman can sometimes become used to men fighting for a place in her emotional world. One man compliments too much, another man waits too long, another man tolerates inconsistency because he is afraid to lose access. But when you step back without begging, something in her mind is forced to notice the difference. Real life example, maybe she gave you mixed energy, warm one day, cold the next, interested when you pulled away, distant when you came close. The old version of you might have tried harder, sent more, explained more, became softer, became funnier, became more available, hoping she would finally see you. But the stronger version stopped auditioning. You did not insult her. You did not chase her with anger. You simply let her uncertainty meet your absence. Psychologically, this creates respect because people often evaluate value through access. If your presence is always available, no matter how carelessly it is treated, it becomes easy to delay appreciating it. But when your attention is removed calmly, she starts feeling that access to you was not automatic. The Stoic lesson is that a man should never turn love into a competition for validation. If someone cannot meet your presence with clarity, your job is not to perform harder. Your job is to return to your center. Practical behavior means you stop trying to make her pick you through emotional persuasion. You do not compare yourself to anyone. You do not prove. You do not beg for labels, replies, apologies, or explanations. You show warmth when there is respect and distance when there is confusion. The emotional payoff is that she may act like you meant nothing, but deep inside, she remembers that you were the man who did not crawl back for a place she refused to define. And that kind of restraint stays in a woman's mind because it reveals something rare, a man who can desire her without surrendering his dignity. Section 5. She can't let go of the man who made her face herself. The fifth reason she cannot let you go is because your presence may have forced her to face a version of herself she could not ignore. Some men only entertain a woman. Some men only flatter her. Some men only give her attention, compliments, and easy validation. But a rare man becomes a mirror. He does not just make her feel desired, he makes her aware of how she moves, how she avoids honesty, how she pulls people close when she needs warmth and pushes them away when real vulnerability appears. And even if she acts like you meant nothing, A woman does not easily forget the man who quietly exposed the parts of her she was trying not to see. Real life example. Maybe you noticed when she was being distant, but pretending everything was fine. Maybe you did not attack her, but you calmly stepped back when her energy became inconsistent. Maybe you did not chase after every mood, and for the first time, she had to sit with the result of her own behavior. That can disturb a person more than a fight because anger gives them something to defend against, but calm truth gives them nowhere to hide. The hidden mistake men make is thinking they need to explain the lesson to her. They want to say, "You lost someone real," or "One day you'll understand," or "You know I treated you better than anyone." But the moment you announce the lesson, you weaken it. Psychologically, people are changed more deeply by consequences they feel than speeches they hear. If she treated your presence casually and then lost access to it, her mind may keep returning to that contrast. She may act proud outside, but inside, she may remember the man who did not react like everyone else. The Stoic lesson is that your role is not to force her growth. Your role is to stay aligned with your own. Practical behavior means you stop trying to teach her through words and start letting your standards teach through distance. You do not become cruel. You do not become dramatic. You simply refuse to keep participating in patterns that lower your peace. The emotional payoff is powerful because when you become a mirror without becoming a judge, your absence becomes difficult to dismiss. She may not admit it, but part of her knows you did not just leave. You made her feel the cost of not meeting something real with honesty. Section 6. She can't let go of the man who became stronger after her distance. The sixth reason she cannot let you go is because distance did not destroy you the way she may have expected. This is where the emotional balance changes. When a woman pulls away, becomes cold, or acts like you meant nothing, a part of her may expect you to stay frozen in the same place. She expects you to keep checking, keep wondering, keep hoping, keep waiting for one sign that she still cares. And if you do that, she may feel safe in her distance because she knows your energy is still available. But when you use her absence as the moment to rebuild yourself, something different happens. Your silence stops feeling like pain and starts feeling like direction. Your posture changes, your messages become cleaner, your eyes become calmer, your life begins to look like it has weight again. And even if she does not say anything, she feels the difference between the man who was hurt by her distance and the man who was shaped by it. Real life example. Before, if she stopped replying warmly, you would lose focus. Your day would become heavy. Your mind would circle around her like she was the center of your world. But now, instead of collapsing, you train, work, clean your space, improve your style, build your money, protect your mind, and return to the promises you made to yourself before she entered the picture. Psychologically, growth after rejection creates emotional contrast. The person who once believed they had power over your peace now sees that their absence did not end you, it awakened you. That can create regret, curiosity, and even quiet respect because people remember the ones who became stronger instead of smaller. The Stoic lesson is that pain is not supposed to make you beg for the past. Pain is supposed to reveal where you gave too much power away. Practical behavior means you stop using improvement as a secret performance for her. Do not train hoping she sees. Do not post hoping she feels regret. Do not rebuild yourself as a message to the woman who left. Rebuild because the man inside you deserves to stand again. The emotional payoff is freedom, because if she still thinks about you, she is no longer thinking about the man she could easily affect. She is thinking about the man who turned her distance into discipline, and that version of you becomes much harder to forget. Section 7. She can't let go of the man whose peace she could not control. The seventh reason she cannot let you go is because she eventually realizes that your peace was never supposed to belong to her. And when you take it back, she feels the loss of control more deeply than she expected. At first, she may have thought your care meant she could move you easily. If she replied late, you would think. If she acted cold, you would explain. If she pulled away, you would try to close the space. If she gave a small sign, you would become available again. And maybe she did not do this with cruel intention, but emotional patterns still create emotional power. When a woman learns that a man reacts to every shift in her energy, she begins to feel that his inner world is connected to her hands. But the moment you stop reacting, that invisible control breaks. Real life example. Before she could post something and know you might view it, she could go silent and expect you to wonder. She could return casually and feel you soften immediately. But now your reaction is no longer automatic. You see the story and do not make it a message. You feel the silence and do not turn it into panic. You receive a small sign and do not abandon the strength you built. Psychologically, this creates a powerful emotional reversal because people become unsettled when a source of validation stops responding the same way. She may act like you meant nothing, but if your attention once gave her confidence, your calm withdrawal makes her face the absence of that emotional supply. The Stoic lesson is that your greatest power is not making her think about you. It is becoming impossible to emotionally move against your will. Practical behavior means you stay consistent with your new identity. Do not use silence as revenge. Do not use distance as a trap. Do not wait secretly for proof that she is affected. Protect your peace because it is yours, not because it might make her return. The emotional payoff is complete freedom, because when she realizes she can no longer control your mood, your availability, or your direction, she may still act proud, but inside she knows something has changed. She is no longer dealing with a man who needs her reaction to feel alive. She is dealing with a man who recovered his center. And that kind of man becomes very difficult to release from the mind. The real reason she cannot let you go is not because you chased harder, explained better, or begged longer. It is because somewhere in the story, you became a man who touched something deeper than attention. You made her feel seen, then you stopped letting her uncertainty control you. You gave warmth, then you protected your peace. You cared, but you did not keep crawling back to a place where your value was treated like something optional. And that combination is what stays in a woman's mind, not the man who was always available, not the man who turned pain into paragraphs, not the man who waited outside her silence, hoping she would finally admit he mattered. The man she cannot easily release is the one who made her feel something real, then had the strength to step back when reality was no longer respectful. She may act like you meant nothing because pride is easier than accountability. She may post like she is fine because silence feels safer than confession. She may avoid your name because saying it might bring back a feeling she thought she controlled. But none of that should become your prison. Your job is not to chase her hidden regret. Your job is not to prove that she remembers. Your job is not to live in the hope that one day she admits what you already felt. Your job is to keep becoming the man whose value does not depend on her honesty. Because if she cannot let you go, let it be because your absence carries dignity, not desperation. Let it be because your silence carries direction, not revenge. Let it be because your life kept moving after she thought her distance would stop you. And if she ever returns, let her meet the man her absence built, not the man her silence once controlled. If this message spoke to the man you are becoming, comment the word unforgotten below. Subscribe for more mature lessons on female psychology, stoicism, attraction, and emotional control. And if you want to go deeper with men who are learning how to stop reacting and start rebuilding themselves, join our private community. Not because you need to make a woman regret losing you, but because you deserve to become a man who never abandons himself for someone else's uncertainty. Remember this: she may act like you meant nothing, but your power begins when you stop needing her to confess what your silence already knows.